Tried using a popular blockchain when it's busy, you know the feeling, right? The crazy high fees, the super slow speeds. It just doesn't feel like the future we were promised. Well, today we're diving into Layer 2, the tech that's supposed to fix all of that. All right, let's get right into it.
I mean, it's the question on everyone's mind. You hear all about this amazing new technology, you get excited, you go to make one little transaction, and bam, you're hit with this clunky, expensive reality that feels anything but futuristic.
First up, the fees. We've all seen it. The cost to just send something can sometimes be more than the thing you're actually sending. That is a massive barrier to entry, especially if you're new to this whole space.
And then there's the waiting game. You know, during peak hours, the whole network just clogs up. Your transaction feels like it's stuck in this endless digital traffic jam, and you're just sitting there, waiting.
And all of this, it just leads to one place: limited usage. I mean, if it's too expensive and way too slow to do simple stuff like, I don't know, buying a coffee or playing a game, what's the point for the average person?
But here's the thing, and this is really important. This isn't some fundamental flaw that means crypto is broken. Not at all. It's a technical hurdle. It's a classic case of growing pains. It's a scaling problem. And thankfully, some really smart people have been working on a solution.
So to really understand the solution, we've got to get to the root of the problem first. We need to talk about crypto's big bottleneck. Why does this even happen in the first place?
Well, it all comes down to something called the blockchain trade-off. See, the big foundational blockchains, think Ethereum, they were built with two things as the absolute top priority: ironclad security and true decentralization. But when you focus so heavily on those two things, you inevitably have to make compromises somewhere else, and that's usually in speed and cost. And this creates a really simple cause and effect. The more popular the network gets, the more people are trying to cram their transactions into the same limited space. And what happens? The whole system slows to a crawl, and the cost to get anything done just goes through the roof. It's literally a victim of its own success.
So, how do you fix a massive traffic jam without having to tear down and rebuild the entire highway? Simple. You build an express lane. And that, right there, is the perfect analogy for the solution we're talking about, Layer 2.
Let's just stick with this analogy because it works so well. Think of the main blockchain, the Layer 1, as the main highway. It's safe, it's secure, but boy can it get congested. Layer 2 is like a brand new, super fast express lane built right on top of that highway.
So to get a little more technical, a Layer 2 is basically a separate system that's built on top of the main Layer 1. Its entire job is to handle a ton of transactions off the main chain, which gives you these huge gains in efficiency. And the way it works is actually pretty brilliant. First, the Layer 2 network takes a massive batch of transactions and processes them on its own superfast system. Then it bundles or rolls up all the results from those thousands of transactions into one single, tiny piece of data. And finally, it just posts that one piece of data back to the main Layer 1 chain for safekeeping.
And that is the absolute magic of it all. You end up with the best of both worlds. You inherit the rock-solid security of the main Layer 1 chain, because that's where the final record is kept. But you get the insane speeds and super low costs of doing all the heavy lifting off-chain. Security and efficiency, finally together.
So what does this all mean for you, the actual user? Well, it means we can finally fix all those annoying problems we talked about at the beginning. The whole experience just gets so much better. Layer 2s hit the three big pain points head-on. Fees drop dramatically. We're talking pennies instead of dollars, which makes small, everyday transactions actually possible. Speeds become basically instant, so you're not sitting around waiting. And maybe most importantly, it gives the network scalability. It can finally handle millions of users at once without grinding to a halt.
And look, the takeaway here is pretty stark. Without a scaling solution like Layer 2, crypto probably stays a niche thing for hobbyists and traders. But with it, the door to real, genuine mass adoption finally swings wide open.
Now, a really common misconception is that Layer 2 is somehow trying to replace Layer 1, but that couldn't be further from the truth. They're not competitors. They're designed to be partners, each with its own special job.
Just think of it like this, okay? Layer 1 is the foundation. Its main job is security and making sure everything is settled for good. It's the ultimate source of truth. Layer 2, on the other hand, is the engine. It's built for speed, low costs, and just making things easy to use.
See? They're not fighting, they're working together. Layer 1 provides that incredibly strong, secure base that everything else can rely on. It's the bedrock.
And Layer 2 is the high-performance engine that sits on top, allowing the whole ecosystem to grow, to scale, and to bring on the next 100 million users.
One really can't reach its full potential without the other.
So this partnership, it's more than just a cool tech upgrade. It's actually a massive signal about the maturity of the entire crypto space. It's the key to unlocking that big dream of mass adoption. So why does this matter so much? Well, because it finally gives us the infrastructure for real-world apps, things like games, social media, you name it, that can actually support millions of people without falling apart. It gets rid of all the friction that's kept so many people away. For anyone building or investing in this space, this is the signal that crypto's plumbing is finally ready for prime time.
And, it all really boils down to this one simple but powerful idea. Hype and big ideas can only get you so far. For a technology to actually change the world, people have to be able to use it. Layer 2 is the bridge that takes crypto from being a complicated idea to a simple tool. It's how crypto actually reaches people.
So, as we wrap this up, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Every major technology hits this point, right? Where it has to evolve from a niche interest into something that anyone can use easily. For crypto, is Layer 2 that moment? Is this the moment the express lane finally opens up and this technology truly goes mainstream?